Taurus of Ruse. Where on earth did you come from?
No, I don't like a trick. But when we are about to be fooled, the situation unties our hands. Where are we?
Well, the muscles are flexing, meaning we are already inside it. Looks like one of the ventricles.
What an absurd place. It's just a piece of taxidermy. This means everything isn't for real yet. Looks like it hasn't started.
Does it matter at all what he's made of? It's already absolutely clear to me. Something is disturbed in it. We'll have to make Sectio transversalis to him. Let's scarify the wall. Otherwise we won't be able to get out of here. What else can be done?
I know what to do. The one will be tricked, who is acting straightforward or thinking logically. Only by miracle it is possible to escape from here and not to ruin anything. But I can make a miracle happen. Untie my hands.
Be quiet, will you? You are a thief and a liar. How can anyone believe you when you deceive yourself? And my principle is the genuine truth. No matter what happens, I will get to the truth and act by rights. Untie my hands. Medicum morbo adhibe.
Don't command around, you medic. You'll act by the rights, but your truth will blind you, and you'll just finish him off. A surgeon's sensitive hands are needed here, and you step aside.
Your sensitive hands kill more often than present life. You will inevitably cause harm, and this smartass won't consider the losses at all. You both lack mercy.
Looks like we won't get along. Yet there is only one genuine truth.
Will is able to make any decision the right one. So it is.
Only your heart can show you which decision will be right. Mind the deceased, not yourself. He's suffering. I don't see it yet, but I can feel it clearly.
This is not even a trap. This is a grave. Sub ipsum fumus sumus. I don't carry much warm feelings for him.
That I can see. You are full of hatred. Stuck or not, it still breathes. I can hear it. It's possible to cure rather than kill.
How is it possible for you not to kill? You'll kill for sure. Remember my words. That's just how it will turn out. But when it comes to me, I might not kill.
No, we won't come to a compromise. I suggest our splitting up. The faster the better.
So do we split up or not?
Let's get going. Time's running out.
Okay. Welcome to, Russian people are always depressing, the game. AKA Pathologic, or Pathologic. Pathologic? It's gonna drive me crazy. I have no idea how to pronounce this game's title. I've heard the word pathological in use before, but I've never heard, actually, pathologic in itself, by itself. This is a Russian first-person survival horror game. Seems like I should be able to open this door, right? It's glowing. Is it just my imagination? Let's see if we got control scheme here. Settings, controls. Or that it uses E, of all things. Okay. Alright, so maybe I could have gotten out during that opening cinematic. Oh. Hello. What the? Alright, so, this game is obviously very different from what you might be used to in a lot of Western fare. It looks like I've got 3 options. I believe that like the way this works is you're trying to solve the mystery of some strange epidemic that's striking this town. And you can play the game from one of 3 different perspectives, and each perspective has its own kind of vantage point on what the overall mystery is. So let's see what our options are here. The Bachelor. The history of mankind knows such catastrophes that demonstrate the whole insignificance of our achievements and the victory of undefeatable evil. Such are, of course, the epidemics of various contagious diseases that have destroyed whole cities in the past. The best and wisest of the participants of such events have all come to the same conclusion, that it isn't worth fighting in such circumstances, but it's best to simply clutch one's teeth and take the losses. This is a story of a man who performed a miracle and defeated an opponent when victory seemed impossible. The Haruspex. How do they call upon Minku, the true from the family of hierophants? They are distinguished by their hands, the butchers, the surgeons, the healers of the lions, the leaders of the order, the ones that speak to the Udurgs, masters of the art of the Haruspex. Who is called the Haruspex? The one who tells the future by the guts. He knows that the body is similar to the universe. His scalpel follows the lines of the body, his feet follow the way of his people. They are trusted with power, and they know which line to choose. They are thrown into the dark flesh of the earth when they lose their way. This is a story that speaks of a man who avoided a contradiction that threatened to destroy the doomed life and masterfully reached his true destiny. The Devotress. This character will become available after you finish the game by one of the other two characters, the Bachelor or the Haruspex. Alright then, so obviously the English translation here is not totally perfect, and I'm sure that I'm butchering so many of these words. Not sure which one to go with first. The Haruspex seems a lot more mystical, I guess. This seems like a pretty straightforward, there's just a guy that's looking to solve the disease. This one seems to deal with a lot more esoteric kind of elements, so we're going to check that out. That sounds kind of interesting.
Artemy Burak returned to his hometown after 10 years of absence. He was born into a family that had the privilege of cutting open dead bodies, granted to them by the customs of the steppe people. Since birth, he had been preparing for a future of the kind. Isidore Burak, Artemy's father, a philosopher and healer, greatly respected among his people, having admitted the limitations that decreased the level of patriarchic knowledge, sent his son to study modern medicine to the city. Artemy travels from town to town for several years, studies theoretical and practical surgery. He suddenly receives a letter from his father in which his parent speaks of his forthcoming death and asks his son to return to receive the heritage. Not willing to wait for the arrival of a regular train, Artemy sets off on foot, walking next to the railroad in the steppe. At some point, a small, maneuverable locomotive picks him up, and the young Haruspex arrives at his hometown.
Well then, off to a violent start. It's interesting to note that the three characters we're allowed to play as, I guess those were represented by the three players in that stage play that was going on at the beginning of the intro sequence. Well, now I'm the eldest in the Burak family, head of one of the Minku families, ones that know the lines. I'm an heir to my father Isidore, a hierophant, the one who the Order thought of as the highest of all Minku for the past decades. Gaining my father's heritage is a vital necessity for me at the moment. It will give food for my body and mind. It will give my worthless, empty life a meaning. For I am from a family that knows the lines, that opens bodies, that connects the earth within the underground. The duty of the knowing is to serve the children of Bodho, to interpret constances, and to make wise decisions. My existence on this earth is justified only by fulfilling this duty. Who will I be if I break the continuity of my family, if I don't bind my destiny with my father's? We have a few other tabs here, okay. I just hit escape to exit out of that, I suppose. Day 1, during which the Haruspex is to become a wanted criminal instead of being a lawful heir. Oh my, what a trippy looking world we seem to have entered. This is very odd indeed. Are these people in strange costumes, or are they actually some kind of creatures? Right, Brock, you are almost dead. You have but a few minutes left to live. Of this I speak to you solemnly. There isn't much that I can do in that time. You've been hit on the head several times, and the fists of the local men are hard. Maybe you haven't noticed yet, but you have 4 knife cuts, one of which is quite serious. You have lost a lot of blood, and the local climate doesn't help overcoming exertions. By the way, do you have heart problems of any kind? Good joke. Funny. Your health is near 0. I won't be mistaken to say that you haven't eaten for a while and haven't slept last night. It's not hard to tell by your face. So, your hunger and exhaustion are also critical. Interesting. Which of them will kill you earlier? So what are you going to do? If I am destined to die, I will. Oh, what pretty fatalism we have here. Such phrases should be spoken in a steadfast manner with teeth tightly clenched. The problem is that you almost had your teeth deprived of you, so the effect isn't what it was intended. It's far more interesting being a fatalist if you have a choice, right? I agree. To restore your health, you will need a bandage package. All sorts of bandages and tourniquets can stop the bleeding. Painkillers will help you survive. Where do I get them? You could rob people, or you could trade with them. Children would be glad to trade simple things for those of value. Moreover, our drunkards usually have bandages in case of a fight. When they have a hangover, they could sell their own sister for a bottle of water. Water is scarce here. Where do I get water? Sometimes there are remains of water in barrels. You could get some from there into an empty bottle. What next? You are hungry, as far as I'm concerned, right? Very. You don't have to rob people to get rid of hunger. There are foodstuffs at shops. However, taking into account your reputation, that advice is worthless at the moment. Nevertheless, they almost emptied one of the warehouses last night, when meat was being put there. How do I find it? It is not locked nor guarded. Stands out from the others. There they are, the warehouses, 2 steps away. By the way, there are people there that have problems with the law, just like you. You're always a good guest for them. Can you manage it over to the warehouse? To be honest, I'm dreadfully tired. You can sleep in the houses of honorable citizens, whose trust you will gain. Remember that at the moment you are out of the law. The only man that believes you right now is Vlad Olimsky. I'll show you where he lives. You can sleep at his place. Don't forget to apply some bandages if you don't want to die in your sleep. I am out of the law. Be careful. Hide from the citizens. They are frightened and will attack you easily at the moment. Don't trust anyone. Speak to my honored brother. He also has something to say to you, just on the topic. Okay. Alright, 6 o'clock. This is the Klot Olgimsky's house. Here's where Big Vlad lives, the person who my father mentioned in his letter. Well, that was so 10 years ago. Alright then, so we are definitely out of the realm of classic Hollywood video games. It's a very strange setup they have going here.
Welcome to your hometown, Hierophant. It's been a long time since you've been here. You probably won't remember the harsh stench of fire in the air. Yes, you know why they attacked you.
No.
You have been mistaken for another. They're looking for a killer. One influential man was killed here last night. The people loved him. Not every child loves his father as the people love the deceased. Don't judge them too strictly for the zeal.
I have to live with them, however.
They are naive. In towns like these, reputation is everything. They will meet you looking at it and say farewell looking at it. Nobody will investigate the truth. Some worthless rumor or slander is enough for them to see you as an enemy. Your reputation equals 0. You will have to face the unpleasant consequences.
What do I do?
You must restore your reputation. Do that now, and at another time it might fall. The people are stupid and weak. They will worship someone today who they beat and laughed at yesterday. What of tomorrow? Enough said. Anyway, any wrongdoing can be expiated, and they will love you just as jealously as they hated you before.
How do I restore my reputation?
Do good deeds. The town is small, and glory spreads instantly, distorting 100-fold on its way. If you take into account that here it's mostly spread by children, then your reputation will be restored. Don't waste it without need in the future. It is a fragile commodity.
How does it fall?
Firstly, it falls because of the quantity of living beings killed by your hand. It depends on how you influence the people whose fate is closely connected with yours. You will meet such people here, special people. Sometimes they call them adherents. A stupid custom, but you will need them.
What are these people?
There are about 30 of them. All of them hate each other, all of them lie, all of them deserve to live. Nevertheless, some of them are incompatible. For one of them to live, the other has to die. Draw conclusions.
How will I recognize these people?
That isn't hard. All of them are vivid characters, quite famous around here, but not all of them are aristocrats. There are beggars, marginals, even tiny children. Adherents of something closer to perfection than the rest of the crowd of simpletons.
I don't like you. I don't like arrogant characters. So then, looks like we're managing our health and our reputation in this game. Now I'm not sure if the basic parameters change for the other characters. Perhaps the other character doesn't start off having just killed somebody and having a moot reputation. But certainly a very strange looking place that we're in. Very barren. Looks like I can crouch by hitting shift, but I don't seem to be able to sprint. They've definitely done a good job of painting a very forlorn kind of picture. It's a strange town. It's very, very lonely looking already. The architecture is quite unique, and certainly lends to that